to men who they don't even possess the qualities or the character to be able to navigate that many women.
From a woman's perspective, though.
Okay, y'all. So, is it in a man's nature to have more than one woman? Okay, y'all. So before I get into this hot topic, I just want to say to people who follow me pretty consistently, just want to apologize to you guys. I have not been able to really do YouTube over the past really couple of months. I've literally moved twice in the last 3 to 4 months, and I got a new job and I moved from one city to another, and it's just been a lot of things going on in my life, and I really honestly I just did not have the time to do YouTube, and I've been missing doing this, and I do apologize for the people who are consistent. I really, really, really love and appreciate you guys. I just wanted to say that. So anyways, I came across a tonight's conversation clip segment. If you guys have seen the tonight's conversation group, they have like a lot of interesting like topics that are really fun. And so I happened to come across this clip of this guy. Apparently he's married too. And he got up on stage, or he got up to the microphone, and he's like, matter of fact, I'll just go ahead and play it for you guys.
How many times we gonna act like having multiple women ain't in a man's nature?
The wife is walking up. The wife is here.
Hold on, come here.
Now, I admire you as a wife because I am a wife. But I'm going to ask you, why is your husband coming up here asking that question?
So, yeah. So that's actually a good question, because I think that I have heard a lot of different perspectives on this particular topic. Like, is it even normal or natural for a man to only be with one woman for the rest of his life? Is it normal or natural for a man to only want to be with one woman and not creep around or see other people other women on the side and, run through multiple different women? And, so I've heard, this is not the first time that I've heard a guy say that it's just not natural for a man to only be with one woman. But what I will say about this is, I don't necessarily think that it is in a man's nature to not want to be with more than one woman. So what I'm trying to say is, I think that most men naturally want to have multiple women. But that doesn't mean, and that also doesn't excuse the behavior of, agreeing to a monogamous relationship with a woman and then exercising your desires outside of the relationship and without, that other person's knowledge or consent, and consenting to like an open relationship. So just because it's in your nature to desire something doesn't mean that it's right to act on it. And that's just what I think. I mean, because to me, this particular guy who's saying this, to me, he just seems like a guy that just lacks discipline in general. And I'm really surprised that he's actually married.
So why is your husband coming up here asking that question?
He just wanted to know.
But when men say it's in their nature, when men speak on that, it's usually an excuse for their behaviors that they have. And they don't want to acknowledge that.
He just wanted to know. Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure that he's not exercising his nature in your marriage and in your relationship by going out here and exercising his nature to be with other women. I'm sure he's not doing that. He just wants to know. But another thing that I kind of found interesting, though, is when I was going through the comment section, there was one comment in particular that I saw when I initially watched this video that caught my attention, because it's not the first time that I heard a guy say something like that, or seen a guy say something like that. So what he said was, he basically compared Western culture to Eastern culture. So he's an American guy. The guy who made the comment is American. He's a Black American guy. And he was basically saying that the white man has us brainwashed and doing things that are unnatural, and it's natural for a man to have multiple wives, and it's natural for men to have multiple women. And we're doing things backwards, kind of like that Hotep mentality where, the Hotep guys that are always talking about having multiple wives and all of that. There's quite a few guys that I've seen that have said stuff like that. But what I find ironic about when men will say stuff like that, like they'll try to compare the East to the West, like what they do in Eastern cultures and them having multiple wives, they always seem to leave out the fact that those men are paying to have those wives. Those men are not just going out there and said, "Oh, I want you to be my wife, you," and boom, boom, bada bing, everybody's happy. That's not how it works. In Eastern cultures, they literally have to pay a dowry to marry these, and they usually marry these girls very young, and they have to pay their family a lot of money in order to get these women. And not only that, but they're probably, at least as far as I know, they're the sole provider. So it's not this weird dynamic that a lot of American guys have in their head where I'm just going to have a whole bunch of women. We're all going to live together. We're all going to go to work and we're all just going to pool our resources together as one big happy family. And I'm going to be the man with all these women around me. That's not what they're doing over there. That is a very unrealistic psychological fantasy that I've seen men have, that they really think that that sounds appealing to Western or really any woman. That does not sound like an appealing situation. Because as a woman, why would if I'm gonna share my man, you gonna have to take care of me. I'm sorry. Like I'm just saying how I feel and what I think. If I'm gonna be a concubine or if I'm gonna be one of many, you're gonna have to take care of me. You're gonna have to pay for everything. Because if I'm gonna share my man, I'm not sharing bills. And that's just how I feel. And I'm a very fair thinker. I like to see things from different angles, but on this angle, I'm very firm about that. If like not that I would ever even sign up for something like that, but if I were, you think I'm about to be going to work, coming home tired, and I gotta be in a house with you and two or three other women, and we all gotta like we roommates or something? No, no. So it's kind of like when guys say stuff like that, they're only looking at it from the angle of what's beneficial for them, or like this fantasy that they have in their own head that has absolutely no benefit to the woman at all. And then they wonder why Western women are so resistant to that idea. Well, they're resistant to it, first of all, because it's not a cultural norm. It's not culturally normal for us to share a man, and at least not with our knowledge that we are. Like if we're sharing a man, we're usually sharing him without knowing that we're sharing him. Okay. And and if a woman's gonna sign up for something like that, it's like I gotta have a huge benefit to that. Because the way we're raised in monogamy. One man, one woman. That is literally the culture that we have here. That's the reason why it's illegal to marry more than one person. So you can't just find some idea that you think is cute and fun and from a whole different culture, try to bring it over here and then try to guilt trip women for not wanting to have that lifestyle. And even if that's what you wanted to do, you would have to do a much better job of selling it. A lot of y'all guys who believe in polygamy and believe in this sharing a man and having all these women and multiple wives, y'all don't do a very good job of selling the idea to of that to women. I'm just saying. I have yet to see a man who's actually sold the idea of polygamy successfully and made it sound like something that I would want to be a part of. I really do feel like a lot of men want to just have their cake and eat it too. Like I'm gonna be in a household where it's me, my multiple girlfriends or multiple wives. We're all going to work and we're all coming home and sharing bills and pulling resources. And that just sounds so fun to a man. That sounds great to a man, but I'm sorry, but to a woman, that just doesn't sound good. It's like you're trying to pick all of the parts that are convenient and beneficial to you without doing the traditional stuff that's supposed to come along with that lifestyle. Like it's like you're trying to play it's like you're trying to get people to want to play a game that you already have it rigged where you win every time, and then you wonder why nobody wants to play. It's like you want to have this traditional East African or Eastern part of the world lifestyle, You want to take all the stuff that you see as beneficial from that culture and bring it over to this culture and completely not include the traditional male role of actually having to pay for a wife, pay women to pay to get these women and pay to keep them. Doesn't work like that, y'all. I'm sorry. That's a fantasy and it does not work like that. And the thing is, most men don't even think like this. I'm just saying for the ones that do, I already understand that most men don't even think like that. But I'm just saying I have seen this multiple times.
And we're also listening to men who don't even possess the qualities or the character to be able to navigate that many women.
From a woman's perspective. From a woman's perspective, though.
They don't.
From a woman's perspective.
No, I'm speaking for the men who are usually having this conversation. The men online who are usually having this conversation are not the ones who even qualify to have multiple women to take care of them. When we talk, no, let me just say this real quick. When we talk about having multiple women, we are not talking about financial provision. We are talking about women. That means that you have to have the emotional capacity, the emotional intelligence to deal with multiple women, different layers. When we talk about women in motherhood, this comes with different responsibilities, different needs and things like that. And most men don't have that. Most of the men who are speaking on this are selfish men who are simply just trying to have women for their own selfish needs.
Precisely. So what she's saying is absolutely spot on. Like the guys who are saying this stuff, like I said, it's not the majority of men who are probably thinking like this, but the ones who do are really just saying that because they're selfish and they just they don't even really see women as people. It's just to them, women are just a good time. They just want to have fun. They just want to play around, and they really don't want to have any real responsibilities to these women. They don't want to have a emotional or a financial responsibility to women. They just want fun. They just want sex. That's literally most of the guys who preach about this multiple women stuff. They're literally just selfish ass men. They're just selfish. Because in these types of relationship dynamics, this is people. These are human beings. These are people who have financial needs, emotional needs, spiritual needs. There's a lot of complexities in women, and you're dealing with multiple ones at the same time, living together, sharing each other, sharing love, sharing energy. That's complicated. And like she said, a lot of men don't really possess the ability to be able to navigate all of that. So the guy that made the comment that I was originally talking about, that comment was deleted. I'm assuming he deleted his comment because he got ripped apart like a hyena by women in that comment section. But I did find this other comment that I wanted to bring up real quick. It says, it's from a man, and he says a woman, when a man is actually telling her what men are, just look at the face of the man next to her. He has no guts to say the truth. A few men actually say the truth. Big up to the brother for being honest, at least with the truth. The woman has a choice to stay or leave. Let's be honest. Lastly, women should stop speaking and thinking for men. We men don't disqualify the need of a woman to be taken care of or be provided for. So let's leave it at that. First of all, let me debunk that last sentence because men absolutely disqualify a woman's need to be taken care of and provided for. So let's not even go there. We know that men disqualify that need of women all the time, because if a woman says, I want my man to take care of me, then she's going to get ripped apart. She's going to be called a gold digger. She's going to be called money hungry, lazy. I've seen it all. Like I've literally seen it all. So let that last sentence, don't even go there. And I understand the thing, like women really shouldn't be speaking for men, but at the same time, we can't deny like the obvious. Like there's certain things that are just obvious. It's just blatantly obvious. That's a lot of the guys that are saying certain things that are saying this multiple women stuff are just really just selfish. It's like, it just is what it is. They're just selfish. So I'm pretty sure that there's a lot of men that think that it's not normal, or it's not, it's not within the norm for a man to just be with one woman or desire to be with one woman. But at the same time, y'all, if that's how you feel, you need to tell a woman that up front. Let her know from Jump Street that that's not who you are. that you don't want to be with just one woman. That you want to exercise your choices. You want to exercise your right to freedom and be able to deal with whoever you want to. But see, the problem is a lot of you guys who follow this and believe in this don't want to tell women that, because you know that they're not going to want to sign up for that. You know that they're not going to stick around. So you would prefer to lead a woman on and be dishonest so that you can have her and have her and her and her and everybody else too. Have your cake and eat it too. So, I mean, it's about this, choice. They have a choice to lead, to stay or go. Well, you need to make the choice to be upfront and so that you can find the woman who is okay with that lifestyle. Because some women will do the polygamy thing, especially if they're bisexual. They'll be more than happy to be in that polygamous type relationship because they like women anyway. But don't sit up here and try to make women who are not a part of that culture, try to make them feel as if there's something wrong because they don't want they don't want that for themselves. The people who are in that Eastern culture, they grow up around that their entire life. That is the cultural norm in their country, in their tribe. That is normal for them. They grew up like that. They raised their daughters that way. We don't raise our daughters that way. We were not raised that way. So that's all I want to say. So let me know what y'all think about this. Do you think that men are just not built to be with one woman? Do you think men are supposed to have multiple women? And do you think that women should just be okay with that? Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like the video if you like the video. Subscribe if you have not yet. And I'll just see you guys next time.